Hello and welcome to another video. I just wanted to hop on and give you a quick update on the Esqueleto cuttings I took. I can't exactly remember when it was, but I videoed it, so I'll put on the screen how long ago it was. Sorry if I sound a little bit strange, I'm just getting over a cold, so a little bit croaky and nasally, so sorry about that. But I just wanted to quickly show you the progress because I am planning on parting with these cuttings. I'm going to be keeping one for myself, but I don't need, so I've got 4 pots, and then in those 4 pots there's 7 cuttings in total. But I do not need all of those plants, so yeah, I'm looking to pass them on. I'll probably list them on Etsy, so if you're interested and you're in the UK, then I'll make sure my Etsy shop is listed down below, and I'll try and get them listed when this video goes up. In case you are interested, no pressure at all, obviously. But I really love this plant. I'm so happy to have it in my collection. It was such a wishlist plant for me, and I got it sometime last year, and it grew really nicely actually, and I got it onto a moss pole, and which is why I decided to take the cuttings. I just wanted to get a little bit of a fuller plant going, and the original 2 leaves I've got were quite a lot smaller than the growth that I was getting, so that was always my plan, to basically grow the cutting that I got up, and then cut the sort of like top section and then continue to grow that for myself. So that is the plan for that plant, and obviously I have pretty much done that now. So my plan going forward for my cutting is just to continue growing up the moss pole, and hopefully get some really lovely growth this year. So if I start with the sort of least exciting one, hopefully you'll remember, if you saw that video, which again I'll link at the top, when I actually did the cuts, I got a wet stick cutting, and as you can see, this is growing really well. I'm so pleased with it. Obviously not majorly exciting, but the fact that it is growing is very exciting. So yes, it's gotten a little bit rotten on the end there. I don't know if you can see just here, it's got a tiny bit wrong. I've just cut it off. I'm going to wait for it to callus over, but it doesn't seem to be going anywhere, and it's not in the soil at all. It's not like it's going to get like, it's not like it's planted in the soil and it's going to get wet and everything, so I'm thinking that's just going to callus over. It just went a bit brown, which is fine, so I'll keep an eye on that, but it should be fine. So there's that one. If I do the cutting that I'm keeping now, so there are 2 cuttings in here. So this is the plant, and actually it's quite big, isn't it? I didn't really realise until I got holding it up in front of me. Hopefully you'll be able to see there are 2 stems in there. They're both on the moss pole. I don't think either of them have grown into the moss pole. Actually no, one of them has. One of them's grown into the moss pole. So only one of the cuttings is actually giving me new growth at the moment, which you can just about see if I pull this back here. This growth point is taken off. This one hasn't given me any new growth yet, but I am eagerly waiting. And then the moss pole's just there ready for when it needs it. But actually, yeah, I really didn't realise how big this plant was, but actually it is really quite big, so that's quite nice. But yeah, I'm hoping that this is just gonna grow. My sorry, my original plant that I cut up grew really quickly. I had it in the next room next to my desk, and the window's sort of right next to it, and it just took off, and then started giving me this lovely big growth, which is obviously why I decided to chop it. Yeah, that's that one. So that is the one I'm keeping. I just love the huge fenestrations. They are absolutely stunning. Yeah, couldn't be happier with this plant. So that's the one I've decided to keep. So this is the pot of the other cuttings. This is the mother leaf here. Fairly big, but not, I don't think it's as big as the ones in that previous pot, no, a bit smaller. And then it's kind of grown a little bit strangely, so that's where I chopped it. and then it's pushed out this quite big vine actually, and it's got some aerial roots down on here. Gonna focus, yeah. And then it's pushing out some more aerials here, and it's put this leaf out, and it has literally just put this leaf out. Obviously it's really in need of a moss pole, which is why I want to get them sold fairly quickly, because I don't plan on putting it on a moss pole myself. I'm not going to keep it, so I'd rather let the new owner do that. But obviously it's kind of in need of something, so yeah, definitely ready to go, this one. But yeah, really impressed with the growth it has given me, and I think it'll make a really lovely plant for somebody. So that leaf actually has, I just sort of got curled backwards. I'm not 100% sure what's going on with that one, but I gave them all a regular water the other day. That's the other thing. This one's roots, I don't know if you're going to be able to see, but it does have some pretty big roots in there. Yeah, the camera's not really picking it up too much, but there are some really good roots in there, so yeah, hopefully this will make somebody very happy. Then the last pot I have, which has got 2 cuttings in, is this one, and so these 2 are the original leaves that I had, so they're like the mother leaves that I grew everything from. So they're really beautiful. Obviously they've gone a little bit yellow and a little bit brown, but considering I've had these for quite a long time now, and I've moved house as well, and then obviously I've taken all these cuttings, I actually think this is fine. And I know some people will probably cut these leaves off, but they're still photosynthesizing, there's still a lot of green on there, so I'm just happy to leave them on there. And then this cutting has put, I'm trying to show you, this leaf out, again pretty recently. Kind of a little bit misshapen, but I do find that that tends to happen when you take propagations. The first leaf is sometimes a little bit questionable, but pretty happy and healthy, other than just being a little bit misshapen. And now the second cutting in this pot, this was the original leaf that I cut off. Again, kind of, this one was a bit strange. This was the first leaf it put out for me once we've moved into our new house, so I think the plant just wasn't particularly happy. It was pushing it out as we were moving, and obviously the massive environmental change, so it was always a little bit strange. But again, perfectly healthy, so I've just left it on there. And then that one is just pushing this growth point out, which is getting quite big now, and you can see the leaves actually coming out the top there, so it will be unfurling sometime soon. So that is all of the cuttings. I've got 2 in there, 2 in here, 1 in here, and then I've got the wet stick. I am so happy with this plant that I'm going to be keeping. It is, yeah, seeing it in the viewfinder, actually realising how big it is. But yeah, it's really a beautiful plant. I do recommend it to anybody who wants something a bit unusual but that's fairly easy care. I know some people have problems with this plant running. That's not a problem I've had with it. I can't really comment on that because I just haven't had that experience. I've had a really good experience with this plant in terms of growing it, in terms of propagating it. Really easy, similar care to a Deliciosa or an Adansonii. I just let it dry out before I water, and I pretty much fertilise this all the time. Even through the winter I was fertilising, sorry. I don't fertilise as often or as strong a solution, but I fertilise. If my plants are growing, then I fertilise them. Unless I notice that they have gone into dormancy, then I will continue fertilising, and I do just slow it down because obviously the growth isn't as fast as it will be in the summer, because obviously the light and the temperature aren't as good, but I just adjust that with the strength of the fertiliser that I'm using. But But yeah, I do highly recommend this plant. I just think it's absolutely gorgeous. But yes, that was my little update on those. If you enjoyed the video, then please do give me a thumbs up, and if you would like to see any more of my content, then please do subscribe to my channel. It would be much appreciated. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye!